And we are live. Walk-off wagers presented by Pub Sports Radio. I'm your guy, Wine Time Sports. My co-host with me, Spoons Bets. We're right here every single Sunday breaking down the entire MLB slate. Any questions you guys have along the way as well, just put them in the chat. We'll make sure to give you guys a shout out as we go on. But let's keep this rock and rolling, Spoons. We've had a great last couple of weeks on these shows. Having a good time doing it too. I know you've been cashing some bets on these Sundays. Sunday's probably been my least profitable day of the week, but it is what it is. We'll take it when we can get it. I feel like today's going to be our day, and I already got a couple plays locked in. I know my guy Spoons has a couple plays locked in. I'm going to get right over the chat here shortly. Spoons, introduce yourself. How was your week, my guy? What are you going to be doing this week now that there's no baseball for about 4 days after today?
Got a lot on my plate for the next week. We're doing some house clean out, getting things all situated around, getting the shed cleaned out, the garage, everything in just better order, taking the extra time and using it efficiently. Pretty excited. Also working on some just numbers to help me break down the second half of the season. I've been working with my guy Wags there in the chat on a bullpen efficiency algorithm to try to better identify when some of these bullpens are good to be used and when they're not. All sorts of stuff going on. Excited for another Sunday. This has been one of my more profitable days of the week during the baseball season. So I really want to keep that going. It's been a rough week as far as units have been over here. I'd like to put this behind us, but I got 4 plays today I'm pretty confident in. So excited about that.
Yeah, I'm stoked to do this show, Spoons. Yeah, like I said, this has been my favorite day of the week lately, man. Even though I've been winning, it's just been a good time breaking these games down, seeing everyone in the chat showing love to all of us as always, man. It's much appreciated. Want to give a quick little shout out to everyone in the chat. Saw my guy Razor Sharp Picks was in there early and often. Shout out to my guy. Happy Sunday. Scatback, Swaggy McNichols, Scott. Got MLG Beavis in there. We've also got, let's pull it up, Sports Scientist Jacob, my guy right there. We've got Pub Sports Radio, MLG Beavis, Jonathan Pulliam, new member. Appreciate you, John. Let's go. Definitely going to give you a little birthday, or not a birthday, definitely a little shot for joining the new family here. Shout out to my guy Nuke Worker in the building. He said, "What's good, Julian?" My guy Julian Cesario in there as well. My Southern California brother right there. Got to kick it with him the last couple of times in San Antonio, along with my guy Nuke Worker, man. Those guys are a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys' support as always. We've got Gravy Bets in the building. Old E, my guy, he said, "What up, squad?" Old E, you got to get out to San Antonio next year, man. Look forward to that. Big Daddy Boom, always. We see my guy, Wager Detective. We got a lot of names in there, guys. Like Nicholas Handy, AOD, Joey DFS, man. If I didn't get to you guys, I apologize. It's a lot going up and down this list. My guy Rod Z right there. Got to give him a shout out. Dabby Cab, what up? Good to see you guys, man. And I'm stoked to break this card down with you. But first, shout out to my guy, Jonathan Pulliam right here, new member, 8:02 a.m., guys. It's 8:04 over here on the West Coast. Shout out to you. I'm still taking this for my guy because he's a new member. Shout out to you. A little rough early in the morning, Spoons, but we get to it. Let's take it away in this first game, though. What do we got? Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals. By the way, shout out to the mug right here. 1997, Field of Dreams was at the site. If you build it, he will come. We came here, guys. Let's go. Let's start right here with the Atlanta Braves at the St. Louis Cardinals. Let me pull this up. I apologize. This is going to be the first game on the board here. So we've got St. Louis Cardinals against, all right, let me pull this up. The pitching matchup, I apologize.
I can touch on that for you.
Yeah, you can start this off.
So this game hit the market a little late because nobody was positive what Atlanta was going to be doing with the starting pitching situation. They called up Davis Daniel from AAA. He's on regular rest to pitch. He last pitched on the 7th, or on the 6th. So I think he's going to be good to go. I have a little concerns with him looking at his last few games in AAA. Go back 4 games. He's had 4 walks, 6 walks, 3 walks, 1 walk. Not necessarily what you want to see from a guy coming up, but the Atlanta Braves need a pitcher to take the mound. I think this is why it's so heavily to the St. Louis Cardinals. I saw an open of -150, and some books have this all the way up to -172 for the Cardinals. Now, the Braves lineup don't have official at the moment, but I think most of the bats are going to be in there. Let me refresh this. It doesn't have an official lineup. Still projected for me. I expect Acuna in there. He's going to be in the home run derby. There's quite a few all-stars here. I think this is a St. Louis spot. I think the line tells you everything they need to know. Sonny Gray's been really good this year. Every time he's been projected to win a game, I like to go look at FanGraphs. And anytime he's over 50%, I think he's lost maybe one of those games on the season. And that's a ton of games at this point. So I think this is a Sonny Gray spot. I think you back the Cardinals. It's a little hard with the bats at some point, but I'm not going to get there with the ticket window. There's no ticket count or money percentage because it came out so late. Davis Daniels is a 3-pitch guy. He's got a 4-seam, a split, and a slider. So if he can have control of that split and the slider, maybe he can be somewhat successful. But just the walks I see in AAA gives me a lot of concern about how effective he'll be.
Yeah, Spoons, the reason why I couldn't find this game is because it's not available at any of my books right now. So I can't currently tell you guys what I can get right now. And I can tell you right now, I did not move on this game. So we can move right along here, guys. Shout out to my guy, Troy Torrance, in the building. He said, I plan on cashing the fuck out today. Shout out to you, my guy. I hope we all do. Let's get to it, man. Shout out to my guy, Nasty Nate, in the building. My guy right there. Good to see you. Happy Sunday over there. It's my Boston native right there. But let's get on to this next game here. Dodgers, Giants here. I do have this game available here, so let's pull this up. Got Dodgers. I mean, is this kind of out of order? It is a little bit, right?
Yeah, this isn't necessarily how I was planning on going with it, but it's fine.
Okay, so this is going to be the 1 o'clock game right here. I was a little thrown off. Let me see here. Let me pull it up. Dodgers, Giants. We've got Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers here, coming in 18 games over 500, not playing their best baseball the last couple weeks here, that's for sure. San Francisco Giants going to have Robbie Ray on the mound, one of their better pitchers, one of the guys I like to back from this Giants team. This is a nice rivalry. The Giants players came out after that game one. They said there was too many Dodger fans here. We need more Giants fans. Please get here to the game. Shout out to the Dodger fans too, because they travel so well, man. Going all the way up there to San Francisco, and I think it said they were like 65% capacity. There was Dodger fans. We'll see about that today. I think we're going to see a lot more fans show out here for the Giants. Looking at this game, though, seeing the Dodgers currently sitting at about minus 140, Giants plus 130 here. This wasn't a game I moved on by any means. This wasn't one of my ball games here. I just want to pull this up, though. Seeing it open up at a 7.5, it's still around a 7.5 right now. It is minus 115 to the over. It was a minus 110, so some slight movement towards the over here in this spot. Not seeing a lot of line movement in this game. It's kind of been sitting at the same number this entire time. We haven't really seen it go too up, too down. It's been around minus 140. I have a lean towards the Giants here in this game. I was on a plus 1.5 yesterday unofficially, not on Twitter. Got it done somehow in the last inning. They scored 1 run. They lost the game 2-1. Shout out to them for that. But this game, I didn't want to move on this one. I had a lean towards the Giants. That would be my lean in this ball game, but nothing official for me, Spoons. Do you have anything in this game?
So I had some questions with Yamamoto. He is on the All-Star lineup tomorrow, or roster. The Dodgers manager is going to be managing the All-Star game. So I think if anybody gets to make that decision, it's probably going to be him, whether he pitches or not in that game. This is a guy that's coming off just 2/3 of an inning pitched versus Milwaukee in his last start out. And if you look at his innings count, he's already almost matched the innings that he pitched last year in the major leagues. This guy is a seasoned vet, though. He came over from Japan and had plenty of seasons with high innings totals, but they just pitch differently over there. They have 6-man rotations. You wind up with more starts. I think he averaged like 37 starts and never broke 200 innings. So I have a little bit of innings concerns with Yamamoto. He's probably not going to go in the All-Star game, but that possibility is still there. He's a guy you want to get him out there in front of as many people as you can. Just a multicultural star, somebody that doesn't just sell tickets and jerseys here in the States, but does it overseas too. And they like to try to get those guys out there to shine as much as possible. So with that information, it kind of kept me off the Dodgers, but I really wanted to back Yamamoto after that really bad start when he got rocked in the first inning. Robbie Ray's been pitching amazingly, had a 9-inning game versus Arizona, really impressive. Gave up 2 runs, but 9 innings, that's great baseball. White Sox only got 1 off him. The Phillies only got 1 off him. My other lean would be right to that under. It started in the 8 last night, and it's come down to 7.5s everywhere I look. You have 78% of the tickets on the under and 76% of the cash on the under. The Dodgers have 58% of the tickets and 77% of the cash. I saw it minus 135 or so. A lot of the public books have this a more juice total for the Giants, but you can still get offshores at minus 135, 134-ish. So it's not a huge move in either direction, especially with that 77% of cash. I would say the Giants are live in the market, but it's not a game I'm going to. The questions with Yamamoto are going to keep me off this game.
Yeah, I don't have anything in this game. Like I said, I have a lean towards the Giants here in this spot, but just not a lot of value for me. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Sorry, guys, that we're a little bit out of order today. It's all good, though. We're still going to get this done, guys. We're going to move on to another 1 o'clock game here, though. Shout out to my guy, Jose Bouquet, in the building. Good to see you, my guy. He said only moved on 2 plays. LA Angels money line and Kansas City Royals money line, quietly putting 2 units on each. Okay, shout out to my guy, Jose. Appreciate you as always. He's not with us on the 1s and 2s today, so hope he's enjoying his day off. I see my guy Gorky in there as well. Shout out to you, T Moss in the building. Shout out to you guys, man. Let's move on to this next game, a game that, I was talking to Spoons about backstage. This was one of the games I almost made a play in here. Toronto Blue Jays at the, I guess you can call them the Sacramento Athletics here. Looking at this line right now, currently we're seeing the Blue Jays at a minus 120 favorite, Athletics at a plus 110 favorite. Jeffrey Springs on the mound for the Athletics. We got Jose Barrios on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays, who's been pitching well this season. Both these pitchers have actually been pitching quite well. I like back in Springs at times this season. You guys have heard me say good things about the Athletics because when I've taken them in certain situations, they've been cashing. They've cashed the last 2 days in this series. I guess they didn't cash yesterday. Did they win yesterday? What was the final score of the game yesterday?
Athletics ended up winning.
Yeah, they did end up winning. They lost the first game, though, by 1 run. So, but I like the Athletics here. I like them plus. I can currently see the Athletics sitting at a plus 110 on the money line right now. I'm going to go ahead and add this to my card. I want to hear what my guy Spoons has to say about this one, but I like Jeffrey Springs backing him in this situation. You guys know how high I've been on this Blue Jays team this season. I backed them so many times this year, and we have futures on them to win the AL East at plus 700. It's looking good right now, but it's still a long ways to go of the season, guys. We still have so much time left. I'm on the Athletics. I'm going to move back on them right here, plus 110 on the money line. You can get that pretty much everywhere. Spoons, do you have anything in this game?
I don't. This is really offensive weather here. Ballpark Pal has this as the second most offensive park today with plus 26% home runs and plus 15% runs overall.
Jeez.
This is a AAA park out of the PCL. It's hard to pitch in, kind of similar to Coors in some ways. And I kind of just lean to the guy that has more experience doing it. If we look at Jeffrey Springs out the gate, he kind of struggled here at home. But if we look just over his last 4 games, 2.77 ERA, a 0.92 whip. Those are really good numbers in a park like this. I question what Jose Barrios is going to be able to do here. He's pitched in a lot of more pitcher-friendly environments, and when he has not, like the roof open there in Toronto versus the Yankees, he gave up 6 earned on 9 hits. And in Philadelphia with the wind blowing out, it's generally a nice offensive park, nice weather, 9 hits and 6 earned again. So I think the Athletics bats are going to be able to get to Barrios, but at the same time, I could see Barrios coming out here and pitching pretty decent. I just think these A's bats are going to be able to score a few runs off him. It's nothing that I'm probably going to get to the ticket window with. I went back and forth with it for a little bit, but Jeffrey Springs has been pitching so well. He's probably due for a bad game, and these Toronto bats would like to hand it to him. The tickets in this game, we have 68% of the tickets on Toronto and 63% of the cash on the Athletics. So you definitely have some sharp money on the Athletics side. 78% of the tickets on the under and 89% of the cash on the under. This opened at a 10.5 around the board. I see some 10s out there. You can still get that 10.5 under if you want to pay some juice for it. If I had one lean in this game, it would just be the Athletics. I'm not going to go either way. I like seeing that sharp money on the side of the Athletics, but I'm not going to put my money on it. As far as bullpens go, I think the Athletics had to get into Mason Miller last night. That'll be 2 or 3 days from him. he's a really good young arm. I don't know how much they want to push him going into the All-Star break. It's not like they're chasing a pennant or anything at this point. So I question if the Athletics are up, who necessarily comes out to pitch for them. There are some decent arms back here, but just Mason Miller going 2 or 3 right before kind of gives me some concern. So I'm not going to be on this game.
Yeah, seeing this total, I mean, we've seen pretty much 10.5 and 11 this entire series here. We know how offensive this ballpark can be. Right now, we're seeing the 10.5 juicy under at -120 plus 100 to the over. I'm not going to have a play on the total. I am going to play the Athletics here again, though. Once again, the day before the All-Star break, the Blue Jays have been playing really good baseball, but this seems like another Athletics spot for me. So I'm on the Athletics money line plus 110. I'm going to make it official on the card here. And we can move on to this next game here. We've got the Arizona Diamondbacks against the LA Angels. This game's going to be played in Anaheim, California, third game of the series. It was a pretty back and forth game in game one, man. It was a really fun game to watch. It's pretty much neck and neck until the end. Yesterday, Angels kind of took advantage there later in the game. They've been taking care of business. I like the way this team's been playing lately. I like the heart that they have, the young talent that they have. And the bullpen, their bullpen's been pitching really well this last month or so. They really came back to life after struggling big time early on in the season. You really only could have gone to Kenley Jansen in certain situations. And now you got guys like Furman, you got guys like Reed Detmers, who I don't believe will be available today, but they still have guys like Zephyr John. They got guys that Sam Bachman, he should be available today as well. And you also got Kenley Jansen there. And I think that Soriano can go out there and pretty much pitched pretty well here in this game. I've liked back in Soriano all season long. Only thing that I have a problem with, Spoons, is his walks, man. Some of these games, he'll go out there and start walking 5 or 6 batters in the first 2 or 3 innings. Really good ground ball rate, though. We see him get double plays more than pretty much anybody in Major League Baseball. It seems like he's always able to get out of these jams that he gets into, but also at times, there's been times where he hasn't been able to get out of these jams, and it's hurt him, and it's hurt his ERA, because his ERA should not be 4 right now. This should be probably in the mid-3s the way he's been pitching. It's really just been a couple blow-up innings along the way. It happens. It's baseball, but I still think Jose Soriano can go out there and pitch well against this lineup that, if I'm going to be honest with you, Spoons, I mean, they're sitting 4 games under 500 right now. Boat's kind of sinking in their direction right now, the Diamondbacks. I'm not sure what they're going to do before the trade deadline. You don't hear about any other team more that's about to get broken up than the Diamondbacks, just because you look at the lineup and you're like, how is this team not over 500 right now, especially with their numbers? I mean, they've got 4 guys that seems like have over 25 home runs this season. You got guys like Gino Suarez, who's out there playing some of his best baseball, just crushing the ball, man. And yeah, I definitely think he will be dealt before the deadline. But this is an Angel spot for me, man. I got on plus 100 yesterday on the money line. They're sitting currently at a -115, -120 at some spots right now. It's definitely moved in their direction, as I think it will as the day goes on. This will probably close around a -120. I think the Angels want this series. Think they want this game more. I think they want to go for the sweep here and be 500 going into the All-Star break. There's a lot of rumors, too, about some guys getting dealt, guys like Reed Detmers, guys like Taylor Ward. Hope those are the kind of guys that step up in this kind of situation and say, you know what, we still want to make a run this season. We have the team to do it. We've got the rotation to do it, other than Jack Kay and Kyle Hendricks. I don't know, man. We'll see. He's been pitching okay this season. I swear it's just been 1 or 2 innings, like I said, like in that 5th or 6th inning for Kyle Hendricks, but he's still a reliable veteran that you have in that rotation. But I'm on the Angels here, plus 100. I've been on the Diamondbacks this season, and I like their team. I like Merrill Kelly too, but just seeing the line continuously move towards the Angels here in this spot, it makes sense, man. I'm on the Angels here, money line plus 100. I just want to make sure that is what I tweeted out here. Yes, so I'm on the Angels here. It's official for me. Second play of the day. Spoons, I know you kind of had some questions in this game, and you were going back and forth on this one. What do you have in this game?
I had a strong lean to the Angels here. Soriano is a pitcher that I really always like to find ways to back. The public doesn't love this guy, but he finds ways to go out there and be really successful. And when he's not going to be successful, the books kind of tell you that. And I don't see that discrepancy in the first 5 versus the full game that tells me Soriano is going to have a bad game, or at least that their expectations are for him to have a bad game. My questions come with Merrill Kelly on the other side. This is a guy mentioned in a ton of trade rumors right now. He's probably the most advantageous arm for teams to go out there and grab. They don't really want Gallen at this point. And if we look at it in the last month, Merrill Kelly's already gone 35 innings. this will put him over the 40 inning mark in the last month. It's a lot of innings for a guy you're trying to trade. And if we look in his last game, he had a mound visit out there where they came out. He had cramps going on, stuff going on in his lower legs. I wonder how that comes into play and how many innings he really goes out there for. I would be surprised if he pitches more than 5 innings. And then I have lineup concerns here as well. You got Corbin Carroll. He's battling a broken hand. You don't fix that overnight. You can take different things to help deal with the pain, but it's not going to go away. It's probably a good day to give a guy like that off if you don't really have high hopes of winning this pennant. Diamondbacks are pretty out of it. They're announcing the guys that are on the trade block right now. We also look at Ketel Marte. This is a guy that's been dealing with a groin injury for the last week, kind of in and out of the lineup. Game time decision. That's 2 huge bats that could possibly sit out. And if you look at the way this market has gone, this line opened at minus 115 on the opposite side over to the Angels, or to the Diamondbacks, and it's made a full flip to the Diamondbacks being a favorite in this game. Depending where you look, they're almost up to minus 120 in some spots. So that's a huge move in my opinion. They probably know something about either Merrill Kelly's innings pitched that we can't possibly know, or somebody in that lineup might not be there. And I think between those 3 players, that's a lot of concerns to have. I would only have a ticket on the Angels. I'm close to it, but looking at that Angels bullpen over the last couple of days, we have Reed Detmers on 3 of 4, Fermin on 3 of 4. Kenley Jansen didn't pitch yesterday, but he had gone 2 of 3 right before that. So it's not the best bullpen to be able to hand this ball off to, but I think if there's a couple bats out of this, Soriano deals and the Angels get the win. I think the market's kind of telling you that. These right before the All-Star games, like there's so much variance going on. All the teams are handling things differently, and it's a lot of conjecture to kind of guess what they're going to do. And I'm not going to put my faith in this game. If I'd gotten to the Angels last night, I'd feel a lot better seeing that CLV already, but I feel like I kind of missed the line that I should bet if I wanted to be successful with this game in the long term. So I'm going to let Wine Time get his cash with it, root for him, and probably just stay on the sidelines of this one.
Yeah, Spoons. And we are also, chat, apologize. We had some technical difficulties. We're going to go back to the earlier slate of games, but this is going to end up being a pass for Spoons. We're going to touch on Philly and San Diego at the end of the show. We're going to start off at the earlier games. My guy T on the 1s and 2s, if you can bring those up on the side. We are going to pull up the Cubs and the Yankees here. That's going to be the first game officially on the board, guys. Again, technical difficulties. We'll start with the Rays Boston. No, that works. We'll go back to the Rays Boston. Thanks, T. Appreciate you, my guy. Tampa Bay Rays, Boston Red Sox, 2 teams that I thought were heading in complete opposite directions than what they're heading in right now. About a week or 2 ago, I thought this Red Sox team was going to fold. Thought they were going to eventually just keep losing. I didn't think this team was actually going to be 7 games over 500 going into the All-Star break right now. And the Rays are only sitting 4 games over 500 after the crazy hot streak that they had over that couple weeks. We saw them cash a lot of tickets for us, and they've came back to life. I mean, we like this batting order over there in Tampa Bay Rays. I mean, starting off today, you've got Simpson, you got Aranda, you got Diaz, Magnum, Lowe, Camarino, Theis, Kim, and Walls over there for the Rays. And Ryan Pepio, pretty much, I would say their ace this season, even though Drew Rasmus numbers, him and Drew Rasmus are probably the 1-2 punch over there. They got a good 1-2 punch, just like the Rays always do every single season. Seems like this team always has a good rotation and a good bullpen, although their bullpen's been getting touched over the last, couple weeks, maybe even a month or so. Since they kind of went into this losing streak, the bullpen has not been pitching well at all. Boston Red Sox, I mean, can't say enough good things about this young squad, the way they're playing baseball right now. You got guys like Trevor Story and Alex Bregman, the veterans over there on the left side of the infield that are taking those rookies kind of, they're taking them under their wing right now, and they're showing them how to win, and they're winning right now. It's working. I'm not sure what's going on over there in Boston right now, because when I look at this lineup, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Bregman. I guess you could say I like Duran. A lot of young guys in there, a lot of guys that are playing some inspiring baseball right now. It looks like this is going to be like their team of the future. They want to learn how to win. Not saying they're going to make a playoff run right now. They could. At this point right now, they're rolling, but there's still a lot of baseball to be played in this season. I didn't have a play going into this game, Spoons. The more I look at this, the more I kind of want to take the Boston Red Sox right now. I want to see where this line currently is and where it opened up at. Boston Red Sox. Yeah, I mean, this line really hasn't moved from the opening line, Spoons. Right now, we are currently sitting at a Rays plus 105, Red Sox minus 120, pretty much where it opened right now. I'm curious to see what kind of numbers you have in the market on this game, where the public's going, where the money's going in this game. But it's going to be a good rivalry game here. The AL East, a lot of these teams are playing a lot better baseball lately. So watch out for the AL East right now. I know they started off slow this year. This is going to end up being a pass from you, Spoons, unless you can talk me into something on this game. But I have nothing on this game. What do you have about this?
So there's a few of the bats out for the Boston Red Sox today. They do have Duran, Bregman, Anthony, Yoshida, Story, Rafaela, Meyer, Gonzalez, and Wong locked in for the official lineup today. It looks like Tampa Bay has just about all their bats in this order versus Bayo today. Junior Caminero, he's one of the home run contestants.
Yep.
I expect him to already have that home run swing going, kind of peaked at possibly a home run with him. I think all these guys kind of changed their swings going right into this contest. It's something you watch. Acuna the other day had 2 home runs. The next day he comes out there, has 3 or 4 strikeouts. And
yep,
that's because he's just going for the fences every single time. In the market, looking at this game, I saw Circa open this up at minus 124 to Boston, and heavy Tampa Bay money was coming in, and the line was going up to Boston. It reached as high as 131, and that was with Tampa Bay having 77% of the cash on this game. So kind of interesting, but now it's come down to minus 117 over there at Circa. Looking across the board to all the books, it looks like minus 120s to minus 115 is pretty much the available number for them. And that's down a little bit from the minus 125 most of these books had opened it at. We have 71% of the tickets on the under and 91% of the cash on the under. This total has come down from a 9 to an 8.5, and it was originally juiced over 9. So that's a pretty significant movement. Tells me some of those bats that are missing probably have a role in that, but I think that they expect these pitchers to pitch well. I don't have a ton of faith in Brian Bayo. This is a guy that Jose really likes. He already saw this Tampa Bay lineup once this season, gave up 3 earned runs on 7 hits and a walk. Pretty decent start for him, 6 1/3, but I think this is a spot where Pepio just pitches better. A lot of the bats that I'm worried about in this Boston lineup are lefties. If we look at Ryan Pepio's numbers on the season, he's got a 3.2 xFIP versus lefties and a 0.9 whip. Those are elite numbers. You won't see that from a lot of starters. So I think a lot of the big bats outside of Bregman, he sets up to play really well against. I think this is a raised spot. The market initially was really keeping me off seeing the cash and tickets coming in on Tampa Bay and seeing the line going to Boston. But now that some bigger money is starting to come in, I think they're giving some respect to Tampa Bay, and I got a strong lean to Tampa Bay. I'm probably not getting to the ticket window with it, but I would like to. If this wasn't the last day before the All-Star break, I'd probably be pulling the trigger in this game. But currently, I just don't know. I know the Rays would really like to turn this little losing streak they have around, and I think Brian Bayo is a great guy to do it with. I think they have the starting pitching advantage. I think the bats are just about a wash, and I think right now I'd give the bullpen advantage to Tampa Bay. So it's a strong lean to Tampa Bay. I'm not going to get there. The market's doing some interesting things, and I don't want to be on the wrong side of it. The ballpark PAL numbers in this game are pretty offensive, plus 12% runs overall, plus 21% doubles and triples, plus 11% singles. It's minus 7% home runs. Fenway's, it's hard when the wind's blowing over there to left. You end up just hitting the ball off the green monster rather than getting a home run there. So that's why the home run numbers are down. I think it's going to be a decent day to get a few runs off Brian Bayo, but the market coming down on that total with offensive weather, they know a lot. It's important to respect the market.
Yeah, it's going to be a pass for me, Spoons. Don't get me wrong. I do think the Rays want to probably go into this All-Star break on a winning note. I know that's what Kevin Cash wants. You guys have heard me say Kevin Cash, one of the best managers, is the best manager. And all of Major League Baseball. It just seems like whatever team he throws out there every single season, they always somehow win games. And he builds a culture over there, I believe. But this is going to be a pass for me. I had to lean. I'm not going to move on this game. I'm not going to fade the Rays here, and I'm not going to be on the Reds. I'm not going to fade the Red Sox the way they're playing baseball, and I'm not going to jump back on the Rays just because they haven't been playing good. It's just going to be a pass for me, guys. So we can move on to this next game. We can move on to the Spoons' Chicago Cubs against the Bronx Bombers, New York Yankees there. Imumaga starting for the Cubs, the lefty. They're currently sitting at about a plus 118 right now. We have a total at 9, and the Yankees are minus 128, so they are the favorite with Will Warren on the mound for them. This is a game I moved on here. I moved on the Cubs, got some good value on them last night, plus 120. I figured this was going to go down to like a plus 110, plus 105. It hasn't really moved too much the way I wanted it to. The Cubs have been underdogs, I think, in all 3 games of the series, Spoons, which is just crazy. When I look at both these teams up and down, I definitely think the Cubs are the better team here. Definitely think they're going to make more of a run when it comes to important baseball in the postseason. But with that being said, I'm on the Cubs here, plus 120. Got good value on them yesterday. Had some nice plus money as well. And I think they can continue it here. I just want to pull something up. Yeah, I like Imanga here. I think he can go out there and pitch well against this Yankees lineup. We're seeing a total currently sit around 9, where it opened at. I just want to see where it right now is minus 115 to the under. It really hasn't moved much total wise, and it really hasn't moved much sidewise. So again, I'm curious to hear you on the market and where everyone's bets are and what you are in this game. Take it away, Spoons.
I'll start with the market. We have 50% of the tickets on the Chicago Cubs, 78% of the cash on the Cubs, 67% of the tickets on the under, and 62% of the cash on the under. It's pretty interesting numbers because the market's moved away from the money and tickets in both of those situations. This opened at an 8.5. It's now 9s across the board. It opened with the Yankees being a favorite, obviously, but it's moved a little bit more in their direction on most books here. It's less than 10 cents of movement, so it's nothing significant. But when you have the tickets on the other side, generally only bets move the actual line. So that means the bets that the books respect the most are coming in on the Yankees. This is a spot where I got to the ticket window with the Cubs last night. You can get a little better number now. I think this is a spot where Shota comes out. He can really pitch well here. One concern I have with him is he's a fly ball pitcher, and this is Yankee Stadium, and sometimes it doesn't take a ton to get the ball out here, but the wind is blowing in from that short porch over there in right, so I think that really helps Imanaga. I think this is a spot where he's facing a New York Yankees team in Yankee Stadium. This is another one of those pitchers from overseas that's got really good stuff. I think he steps up. The lights aren't too bright for him. This is the kind of game that he came over here to play, and I don't see any reason to not back him today. That splitter and slider, pretty nasty pitches to go along with his four seam. I think he can induce some soft, weak pop-ups from this Yankees lineup. And on the opposite side of this, we got Will Warren. This is a guy that really struggles with lefties. He's got a 1.76 whip on the season to those lefties. And if we look at the Cubs batting order, it's official right now. They're going to start 3 of their first 4 are going to be lefties with Michael Busch, Kyle Tucker, and Pete Crow Armstrong. Seiya Suzuki will be hitting third. You then also add Ian Happ, a switch hitter. He'll be hitting in the 6th hole, and Vidal Brujan, another switch hitter, hitting left right there at the bottom of the lineup. I think that's a great setup. Nico Horner, Brujan hitting 8-9, get a couple runners on base in the 2nd, 3rd inning after Will Warren's already seen some of the best bats, and he thinks he can relax a little bit. Then all of a sudden he's got 2 runners on for Michael Busch again. I think the Cubs team total over is also a great way to attack this game, but I just wanted that plus money with the money line. So Chicago Cubs, I tweeted out the line I got. I don't have Twitter open at the moment, but Chicago Cubs money line. Get the best line you can.
All right, guys. That is a consensus pick from both of your hosts on this show. We probably only had a couple of these this season. We both agree on this, and we both moved on it last night as well. So we're seeing eye to eye in this game. Shout out to my guy T back there. He said Judge 1,400 OPS versus lefties. I know he's a Yankee fan right there, so shout out to my guy T. But yeah, I'm on the Cubs here with you guys. I'm on the Cubs here with you, Spoon. So with that being said, Swaggy said Bellinger's 30th birthday today. Okay. All right. I thought he was older than 30. I'm not going to lie. It seems like he's been playing a lot longer, but shout out to Cody Bellinger. Let's move on to this. Do you have anything else to say in this game, Spoons?
You say former Cub Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, in that game one, man, he was the Cub killer, it seemed like, man. What did he have 3 home runs, Spoons?
I think he had 2 home runs. Was it 3?
I think it might have been 3. That's crazy. But yeah, shout out to Cody Bellinger, man. Yeah, so let's move on to this next game, guys. We've got the Miami Marlins against the Baltimore Orioles. 2 teams that it looked like they were folded, that they were folding early on in the season. They weren't going to really play much inspiring baseball, considering how bad both of these teams' records were a month or 2 ago. The Orioles, though, we knew that this team was going to play a lot better as the season went on. They've got a lot of young talent in that dugout still, and they've won the last 2 years. So it's just like, I knew it was going to come back to play eventually. You got the Miami Marlins, on the other hand, a team that's surprising a lot of folks this year, especially the last month or so, the kind of baseball they've been playing. Only sitting 8 games under 500. I know they had that crazy winning streak. They are currently sitting at a plus 115 on the money line here. We've got a Baltimore Orioles at a minus 125. When I capped this game yesterday, Spoons, I wanted to be on the Marlins in some sort of fashion here. I was hoping that we were going to see some live movement towards them and maybe even see them as close to a favorite, at least a plus 105. But I had this open up at a plus 115 yesterday. They're a plus 114 right now at the same book I'm looking at. Looking at the total right here at a 9. Juice to the over at minus 120. So books definitely think both these pitchers are vulnerable to get hit here. I'm curious to what you say on the hitter and weather conditions today. From what I'm seeing, it's going to be a hot day over at Camden Yards. We know the ball likes to fly there, but I'm not seeing any crazy wind. But Spoons, take it away. Baltimore Orioles, Miami Marlins. Do you have anything on this? And what's the market and weather looking like?
Yeah, as you touched on, it's going to be a beautiful day over there in Camden. Temperature is going to feel like a little hotter than it is. The feels like temperature is approaching 95, while the actual temperatures range between 86 and 89. Ballpark Pal has this modeled at plus 11% runs overall, plus 15% home runs, and plus 13% doubles and triples. This is a spot where I really like Yuri Perez. He's pitching some of the best baseball of his career right now. As a young guy, came up probably before he was ready. That happens a lot with Miami pitchers, and ended up having to deal with an injury. Came back and got to rehab with one of the better veterans in the game in I can't think, Sandy Alcantara. So getting to come back with Sandy, somebody that just knows so much more about the major league pitching than this young guy does, I think that was really beneficial for him. I think there's a spot where he can hold some of these Orioles bats off the board. Yuri Perez got a 1.08 whip to lefties and a 0.97 whip to righties. If we look at the last 2 games where the inning limits have kind of been lifted, he's gone 6 innings pitched, no earned run versus Minnesota, and 5 innings pitched with just 1 earned run in the Cincinnati small park over there, which is always pretty offensive. So just to walk out of that with 1 earned run is huge. But the big thing for me is seeing no walks in that last game and only 1 walk in the game before that. When this guy has his control and can put the pitches where he wants to, look out. That fastball's overpowering. The slider really gets in on these guys. He's got a curve and a change to go with it. I think it's a huge pitching advantage to Miami here. We look at Brandon Young on the other side. This guy's got a 2.21 whip to left-handed hitters on the season. It's a short sample size in only 5 games, but you can't really ignore something like that. I think Miami's going to start this game with 2 lefties leading off in Xavier Edwards and Jesus Sanchez. You also have Kyle Stowers, Liam Hicks in this lineup to be able to get to him. This is a Miami spot for me. I like the plus money looking at it. It's difficult, though. Overall, the Orioles bats are better than the Miami bats. And just because Brandon Young hasn't pitched well yet on the season doesn't mean he can't. If we look back at that Mets game, his last time out, it was his best game of the season. Didn't give up any walks, 5 hits and 2 earned to the Mets bats. And those are better bats than what Miami are going to bring out today. So maybe he has the ability to pitch well. So I looked at that under. I looked at Miami, but I didn't get to the ticket window with either. The market in this game has 59% of the tickets on Miami and 76% of the cash on Miami. Baltimore, or the under, has 91% of the tickets and 93% of the cash. The books have not moved on that huge cash number at all. There's still 9s everywhere across the board. Maybe they reduced a little bit of juice depending on which situation you're looking at. But that kind of tells me they think one of these guys is getting touched. In my opinion, it's Young, but they haven't shown enough to be scared of the Marlins to really make me want to do anything with this. I see Baltimore opened up at a -116, and now they're a -126 with all that Miami cash and tickets. So they're pretty confident on this. I'm not going to get in front of the market, especially the last day before the All-Star break, but it's a strong lean to Yuri Perez pitching well in the Miami Marlins for me.
Yeah, so you guys heard it. That's 2 leans towards the plus money on the Miami Marlins for Spoons and myself. This was one of the games I wanted to potentially move on here, and I might move it on as the show goes on. I want to circle back over this, but it's going to end up being a pass for me. But you get Miami at plus money right now. I like the way they're playing ball right now. Shout out to my guy Big Show Picks in the chat. Shout out to the all the MMA guys last night holding it down on the live stream. Killed it. It's some good fights yesterday. So shout out to you for being here, my friend. And guys, if you're in the chat, hit the like button, share the video. We're shorter on likes today, guys. If we get to 200, we've gotten to 200 likes the last 2 weeks, and we haven't done a giveaway. So you know what? I'm going to do a giveaway today, guys. If we can get to 200 likes once again, I'm going to do a $50 giveaway, either on Medicate Monday tomorrow or or when we do the show next week. One of the times we're going to do it. We're just going to need those 200 likes, and we're going to have everyone type something in the chat. We'll do that. But shout out to you guys. We need those 200 likes, though, and share the video. Appreciate you guys, as always, though, for showing support. He said we made all the monies last night. Shout out to you, Big Show. Let's go, baby. And TC in the building. Shout out to my guy, 2 Cents, right there. He came on last week. Appreciate you, my guy. He does a great job commentating the fights over there on the show as well. JR Swish, shout out to you. But we can move on to this next game now, Spoons. Got the Colorado Rockies, Austin Gomber Day against the Cincinnati Reds, and Nick Martinez, a pitcher that our very own Dabby Cab does not like by any means. We've heard him say nothing but negative things about this guy, and I understand why. And guys, you've heard me say nothing but negative things about this Reds team. I'm just not a fan of this Reds team. I don't know how they're sitting currently over 500 right now with the roster that they have. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Shout out to their manager. It's Terry Francona over there right now, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to him for just doing a great job holding down the fort over there in Cincinnati. Looking at this team going into this season, I didn't know how they were going to be able to finish 500, and here they are playing some good baseball. Got the Rockies, on the other hand, not playing good baseball. This is one of the worst teams we've ever seen in the history of Major League Baseball. It seems like have been winning some games, though, the last month or so. They haven't been as awful as they were in the beginning of the year when they couldn't win a game. This is a hard pass for me, Spoons. I don't know if you're going to have a play in this game. I know a lot of people there's a thing that Gomber is a very profitable first 5 pitcher. I think I've heard in the past from Jimmy and my guy Picks from Dave. I've heard them mention it. I'm pretty sure that's who it is. It's Austin Gomber. Seeing this total open up at 10 now, 9.5 right now. Currently, we are seeing a 9.5 juice to the over at -115. So not really technically juice, but a little bit juicier. This is going to be a pass for me. We're seeing team totals for the Colorado Rockies, though, at 3.5, -120 to the over, and the Reds 5.5, -115 to the over. I mean, I feel like the Reds are live in this game. If you want a nice parlay piece, the Reds are probably going to be it. The Rockies don't want to win games. It doesn't look like they want to, at least. And you look at their roster, I don't know how they're going to win Major League games. They do have some young guys in there, and they're developing some guys, but this team is very far away from ever being competitive in Major League Baseball. With that being said, Spoons, touch on this weather report, touch on the market. Doesn't have to be a long one because I know this game, you're probably not on this game. Unless you are. Maybe. Are you on this game?
I have a strong lean to the other side. Real quick before I start, though, I want to give a shout out to our guy, Ron Crawford. We missed his play of the day, spreadsheet play of the day. That's the Boston Red Sox. So I'm sure Jose is going to love to hear that. Ron Crawford really,
apologies, Ron
really
Crawford.
Got a good system working over there. And it's never a good idea to be on the opposite side of the day of the spreadsheet play of the day. So just wanted to give him a shout out. Everybody in the chat. See a lot of new faces in here, a lot of new names. Love to see it. Douglas Jackson, what's up, man? This is a Colorado Rocky spot for me. I look at the pitching matchup. I believe Austin Gomber is a better pitcher than Nick Martinez. One thing you have to consider with Austin Gomber is this guy's home park has been Coors his entire career. It's the hardest park to pitch in. Not only does it have that thin air that allows the ball to travel well. It doesn't let you have your breaking balls move the way you want to. And then you just lose a feel for that. And this is a guy that only throws his four seam 34% of the time. He's got a curve, a slider, a sweeper, splitter. There's pitches that he needs to move, and they're going to move a lot better over here in Cincinnati Small Park today. This is a spot where Nick Martinez, we're looking at him. He gave up 10 earned runs, 7 hits, and 3 walks in his last outing. I'm sure it's still vividness bias in everybody's mind, that San Diego game where he pitched the complete game. This is not Nick Martinez that I trust. Our guy Dabby Cab has hit it on the head over and over for years now that you just need to fade him. And I think you're getting a ton of value getting the Colorado Rockies at up to plus 220 on some of the offshores. You can't get that on the public books, but you can still get 211, I think, is the best number I'm seeing on a public book. So I would only be on the Colorado Rockies here today. I don't have that faith in Nick Martinez to keep the Rockies bats off the board. My buddy Luke is going to this game. He's sitting in the outfield. I was going through some different names that I thought might be able to hit a home run. Hunter Goodman really stuck out to me. Ryan McMahon as well. Those are 2 spots I'll probably put just a little bit on. I texted him and told him those were the bats I thought would go yard today, and that's because I think Nick Martinez is going to give them up. Ballpark Pal has this modeled at plus 16% runs overall, plus 35% home runs. It's the most offensive modeled park on the board today. Nothing really out of characteristic with Great American Ballpark. The way that Ballpark Pal does their algorithm, they have a heavy weight on the actual just park run value in general. And I believe Cincinnati sits at number 2 overall in baseball still at this point. It might be being passed by Sutter though. So it's a top 3 park always in scoring runs. And I think the Rockies get to Martinez. It's the Reds bats that are the question for me. Can they get runs off Gomber? Probably get a couple, but I think this is a Colorado spot. I haven't got to the ticket window with it yet, but plus 220, that's a really nice number.
Shout out to my guy Nasty Nate. He said Rockies plus 4.5 and over 7.5 plus 110. I'm guessing he built that. Shout out to you. That's actually that's a pretty good number right there. That almost seems like a little bit too good to be true, but that seems like an automatic winner right there, plus 4.5. But with that being said, let's see, touch on the chat as well. Wager Tactic, Wire Reds minus 250. I know that's why I can't move on this game. I haven't been moving on Rockies games, and I haven't been moving on Reds games as well. That's Nate said parlay. Yeah, no, that's a great parlay right there. If I could get that available, I would definitely take that. And available right now for the Rockies, you can get a plus 215 at my book right now. So you can still get a nice little plus money on the Rockies. Let me just refresh this because I hadn't refreshed in about 10 or 15 minutes. And I also want to look at this first 5 and see if there's any difference in that. Yeah, Rockies still plus 215 on the money line, currently sitting on the first 5. We have the Rockies plus 180. So 35 cents of difference, plus a half, plus 135. So you're still getting nice plus money on a plus a half versus 5. If you guys like the Rockies, I mean, it's some nice plus money today, you know. Maybe you get it the day before the All-Star break. I like it. I'm not going to move on this game, though. We can move on to the next game, but I want to give a shout-out to everyone in the chat right now. Going to go over it quickly. Sports scientist Jacob, my guy. Stanley McQueen in there. We got Steve Staying Slow. Haven't seen that name, so shout-out to you. I'm not sure what I just did. There we go. Big Show Picks, Swish. We got my guy Nasty Nate, MLG Beavis, Irish King, Standing on Money, Wager Detective, Craig fucking Wood, my guy right there, Coin, BG, Kingo023 said, I'm in here. Much love and respect to the show. Actually brings excitement to our Sundays now. Really appreciate the breakdown with you guys. Appreciate you, my guy. The show wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for everyone in the chat here. We do this for you guys because we want to give you guys this information that we have. We want to share our plays with you guys. We want to make money together, and we want to beat the books together. So it's important to us to stay here as a family, and I appreciate everyone that's showing love as always. There's my guy Kyle Kerms in the chat, shouting out his boy right there, Sly on 7107. Shout out to you, Kyle, my guy right there, doing great things over on the Kyle Kerms channel. Him and Spoons and Toast and TV Jones breaking down the games the night before, guys. There's not a lot of people that do that, actually give you good content while doing that and give you good information. So it's definitely a show I watch when I'm capping the game. So shout out to Kyle Kerms over there. And we can move. There's my guy Rod Zawacki in the building too, right there. What's up, Rod? I know I gave you a shout out earlier. Shout out to Rod Zawacki, one of my favorite cappers to watch as well. Love everything he's doing over there as well. And we can move on. Let's see. We can move on to this next game now. We've got the Seattle Mariners against the Detroit Tigers. This line's even. We got Logan Gilbert on the mound against Jack Flaherty. Seattle Mariners here, they were losing some games. I think they got swept by the Yankees in that series, weren't playing good ball. Julio Rodriguez, I believe, too. Is he? I know he got replaced in the All-Star game. Spoons, is Julio playing in this game?
I see him in the official lineup. He's hitting second.
So he just sat out for precautionary reasons to give his boy Randy the All-Star nod over my boy Joe Adell, who we know should have gotten the nod there. Joe Adell should be in the All-Star game. It is what it is, though, guys. That'll be the last time I bring it up. I can tell you that. I want to be on the Seattle Mariners here. They're playing some really good baseball, Spoons. Detroit Tigers, they've been playing great baseball all season long. The season that they're having is a dream season for all Detroit fans. Just seeing these teams come up lately, like the Detroit Tigers, the Detroit Lions, these teams that weren't good for so many years. And these last couple of years, they've actually been building something over there in Detroit. We hear my guy Jimmy the Bag say nothing but good things about that ballpark and that fan base in Detroit. It makes me want to go get to a game there and just experience it firsthand. I want to be on the Mariners here in this spot, though. It just seems like they need this game a lot more going into the All-Star break rather than Detroit. Detroit pretty much has this division locked up going throughout the rest of the season. There's no way they don't win this division. If so, that would be absolutely wild. It'd be like unlike anything we'd ever seen before. But Seattle Mariners are still fighting for a spot. You got Logan Gilbert on the mound, who has good stuff. I've liked backing Logan Gilbert in the past. We know he's still a pretty young pitcher, but he's got really impressive stuff. I might be on the Mariners here, Spoons. This is one of the games I wanted to break down with you, hear everybody's thoughts in the chat as well about this. What do you have in this weather-wise and market-wise? And if you do have a play in this, what are you leaning towards?
Yeah, I do have a play in this. I bet the Seattle Mariners money line. This is a spot where we got Logan Gilbert on the mound versus Jack Flaherty. We have 62% of the tickets on Seattle and 69% of the cash. We have 63% of the tickets on the over and 93% of the cash on the over. It opened at an 8, and it's still juiced to the under most places across the board. So very little respect to that money. Comerica generally plays pretty pitcher friendly. Ballpark Pal has this modeled at plus 5% runs overall, minus 6% home runs. Nothing super out of the ordinary. This is a beautiful stadium. Definitely worth getting up here. I would meet you up there. Comerica is one of my favorite parks, to be honest. I like catching games there. I don't think this is a really good spot for them. We look at this Detroit lineup and what's changed to kind of take them out of the rhythm they were in. And I see Kerry Carpenter on the IL, and that's just such a big bet. And you're just not subtracting his numbers. You have to replace him with somebody that's subpar in comparison. And it affects the way they pitch to everybody else because they don't want you to have anybody on base in front of him. So they're really trying what they can do to give all the nastiest pitches to those guys. And now it lets them pitch around different bats that they couldn't before. And I think Logan Gilbert is a much better pitcher than Jack Flaherty at this point in their careers.
Yep.
Gilbert's coming off a bad game. I don't expect him to have a lot of those. He gave up 5 earned runs, 7 hits, and 2 walks to the New York Yankees on the road. That Yankees park is a lot harder to pitch in for a guy like Logan Gilbert, who's used to pitching in pitchers' ballparks. Comerica is a lot closer to that. And I think he takes advantage of this Detroit lineup that doesn't have everybody in it. There's a lot of guys up from AAA that people aren't that familiar with. I don't think this is a lineup that I want to back right here today. In the second half, I know a lot of people aren't on Detroit, and I know my guy Kyle thinks there's going to be a lot of opportunities to fade him in the second half, but I think when Carpenter gets back out there, this lineup looks a lot deeper. But that's not happening today. You have all the bats that I wanted to see in for Seattle. Julio Rodriguez isn't sitting. Crawford's leading off. Cal Riley's still chasing Barry Bonds' first half home run record, and he just needs one to get there today. I think if he gets a couple hits, I think Julio Crawford can get on base. It doesn't take a lot of runs to get a win here. Seattle's bullpen is in a good spot to empty the tank and try to get this win. I can only be on Seattle here. I already placed the bet. Get you the juice on it in a second. Would you like to take it away?
Yeah, shout out to my guy Wager Detective. He said Pub Sports should do a ballpark trip meet upstairs. I think he means meetup. Wrigley, Anaheim, Camden Yards. Dude, that'd be a blast if we all got together at a ballpark for a weekend, spent the weekend in the city, got to kick it and do all that. It'd be a great time. But Wager, you got to get out to San Antonio. When we do Palooza in March, you got to get there, my guy. It's worth the trip. San Antonio is one of the cheapest airports to fly into if you fly from another international airport. Last year for me to LAX to San Antonio was like $100 round trip. And the vibes you get out there and the people you meet, you'll see what I mean when I get excited about talking about Palooza. So shout out to you. And shout out to everyone in the chat right now. I see my guy standing on money, Scott, Floyd, Tinker, Watson, just my 2 cents, Wager Detective. I'm going to move on the Mariners here. I just think they're going to catch the Tigers sleeping here going into the All-Star break. I hear what you said about Kyle saying that maybe fading the Tigers the second half of the season. I could see that. This was a team I kind of wanted to fade the last couple of weeks, but they're still winning ball games here. What's the Detroit Tigers record right now? They are currently, it's so crazy. 22 games over 500 is nuts. Shout out to Big Show. Love everything they're doing over there. I just think they get caught sleeping today by the Seattle Mariners, a team that's very streaky, and they don't give up till the end. If they're down by 1 run with a couple innings left, that's a team I trust to win. So I will most likely move on the Mariners. I'm not going to move on officially quite yet. I'll tweet it out if I do. I came into the show saying I didn't want to have more than 5 plays today, the day before, the All-Star break.
You mentioned that record Wine Time. Isn't it a little bit fishy that team is opening as a pick'em with a really good pitcher like Jack Flaherty on the mound? If you look at this recent form, this is a 500 baseball team, and I think that's what it's being priced as for a reason. That many games over 500 at home, every team always kind of has a small advantage at home, but I don't think it's this large of one. And I think the line's sort of telling you this probably, if we put this in Seattle, they're telling you Seattle's going to be minus 140, 150 favorites here. I think it's really telling. I like the Seattle spot a lot. The juice I got on it was minus 110, by the way.
Yeah, it all makes sense. It correlates, Spoons. I might move on it. We'll see here. I kind of said I wasn't going to move on too much action today just because it's been such a nice week. And, one day when you post a lot of plays and you have one of those bad days, especially going into the break, that might hit you some kind of way. And I don't want that to hit me some kind of way. Shout out to my guy Kong Slip. He said, Palooza, can't wait. Can't wait to meet you, my guy, the next Palooza meetup. But we can move on to this next game here. It is going to be a lean towards the Mariners for me. I might end up moving on this. We'll see. If I do, I'll add it and tweet it out later. Let's move on to this next game, Cleveland Guardians against the Chicago White Sox. We have a line currently sitting here. We have the Guardians at about a minus 130, White Sox in at about a plus 120. I believe this line hasn't really moved much since the opening line. This is one of the games that I moved on here. I just want to pull up this really quick here. I apologize. Yeah, so currently last night I got a plus 120 and the White Sox right now are a plus 119. So not a lot of line movement on this. I can tell you right now, I haven't looked at the market, but I know who everyone's backing in this spot. It's definitely going to be the Cleveland Guardians here. And I'm on the White Sox plus 120 again. I think they're going to take care of business here today. I was on them last night. They didn't cash me a ticket yesterday. They ended up blowing the game late. It is what it is here. I just think we have some value here on the White Sox. I like Savali. I know he's kind of a journeyman. He's been everywhere. Not a lot of people like this guy, but I think he can go out there and pitch well against a Cleveland Guardians lineup that shouldn't scare any major league pitcher. If we're being honest, this isn't a good batting order by any means. You got Jose Ramirez, one of the most feared baseball players in all baseball, and you got Stephen Kwan. Outside of that, it's pretty slim. Got guys like Carlos Santana. You got a couple other guys in there, don't get me wrong, but no one that scares me, especially when they have runners in scoring position. They just don't capitalize in those situations. It's a really ugly offense here. And I'm on the White Sox. Cleveland Guardians are a team I'm going to be fading a lot. I think for the rest of the season, I've kind of been on fade mode for them the last week or two. And it's been working out pretty well here. I was on them. I was against them on that losing streak they had. I was also on them in some games. So, but going forward, this isn't going to be a team I back by any means. I don't believe in this ball club. I think they're going to only take a step down in the second half of the season. And that's a team that almost made the World Series last year. It's crazy because this team can make a run. We've seen them do it. I just don't see it this year. I don't see it. I don't like this Cleveland team, Spoon. So I think we have some value here on the White Sox plus 120. Take it away, my guy. Let me know who the public is on and let me know about this weather.
First, Chad Pickard, we're going to be hitting that game next, so just wait a minute and we'll touch on those market numbers. But Chicago White Sox, Cleveland Guardians here. we have, 90% of the tickets on the under, 70% of the cash on the under. This total opened at an 8.5, juice to the over, and some of the books have even put more juice on that over from their opening line. So they don't respect that under money here in this game. My opinion is Savali's on the mound. Kind of hard to predict an under with him. You have 67% of the tickets on the Chicago White Sox, but 90% of the cash on the Cleveland Guardians.
Sheesh.
This is a spot, I think it opened at minus 130 most books. Some of the public books have this more towards minus 137, minus 140. And some of the offshores have minus 127, I believe is the best number. So not a ton of movement, but I bet the Cleveland Guardians last night. I paid a 135 for it. This is Aaron Savali on the mound. I heard you say you like him. I do not. This is a guy I believe will be pitching KBO, Japan, somewhere overseas next year. I don't think it's going to be here. Listening to some of the interviews right after Mizorowski came up, him worried about his spot in the rotation, not wanting to take any other kind of role on, and then getting tossed to the Chicago White Sox. This is purgatory, one of the worst spots you can get traded to in baseball. The White Sox get an arm that they get to absolutely gas out and not care about because they don't have to pay him $1. I have no faith in Aaron Savali to pitch well. When you hear a guy come out publicly, have interviews like that with that kind of attitude, it's nothing that I ever want to back. That's not the kind of guy. As a veteran, you have a young rookie like Mizorowski coming up, that it should be a complete opposite take. You should be wanting to pass along any pieces of advice and gain anything you can from him, because that's a really good young arm coming up. And just seeing how that whole relationship worked out immediately made me want to fade him every opportunity I've gotten. I'm going to continue to do it for the rest of the season. Every time they put him out there, I'm going to bet the opposite team. Joey Cantillo is a bullpen arm that has been worked into a starting arm at this point. I believe he'll probably be available for up to 90 pitches tomorrow. I think he matches up well with this White Sox lineup. I think he can definitely get some outs. This is a spot where it was the easiest bet for me to make. That's not always the best bet, but when I'm looking at the White Sox lineup, we got Chase Meredith, Austin Slater, Edgar Curo, Leon Sosa, Benintendi, Luis Robert Jr. hitting out of the 6th hole,
Crazy.
Miguel Vargas, Colson Montgomery, Michael A. Taylor. I'm about as deep into baseball as you can possibly get. There's 3 names there that weren't even on their AAA team to start the season. So this isn't a lineup I'm scared that Joey Cantillo can't pitch well to. I love the Cleveland Guardians here. I think the Sharps agree with me. You see 90% of the cash with all the tickets over there on the White Sox. I feel really comfortable with this market. I feel really comfortable fading Savali, and I'm happy to be there. Only thing that's making me comfortable is seeing my guy Wine Time on the opposite side of this. Wine Time's been killing it all season long. Never a great spot to be on the opposite side of him. Plus 9% runs overall is what Ballpark Pal has this modeled at. That's with plus 24% home runs. Winds blowing out a little bit here in Chicago at Rate Field. The actual temperatures in this game will be between 80 to 85, probably low 80s most of the game, and just a little bit of wind blowing out, less than 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, no, I don't like Aaron Savali. I like him in this spot. I like him against this lineup, though. I should have said I'm not an Aaron Savali guy by any means. I'm right there with you. Yeah, I think that this is a lineup that he could pitch well against. I'm kind of, the more we're talking about this, kind of makes me want to take the under, especially if this is going to be more of a bullpen game from the Guardians. I mean, the White Sox lineup, don't get me wrong, this shouldn't scare any major league pitcher either, especially if you're only going out there for a couple innings and the bullpen's going to do the rest and they only go out there for 1 inning or so. So, yeah, it's a tough one. I kind of wanted to see the line move towards me. I'm not going to lie. I thought I was going to beat it at plus 120. I thought it was going to be around a plus 110, plus 105 today. We're not seeing that right now. So, and I'm very surprised to see that many percentage of the public betting the White Sox. I didn't think anyone would bet the White Sox against the Guardians. I know the Guardians aren't playing good baseball either, but so that's surprising for me. So I was wrong on that because I kind of assumed that more of the public would be on the Guardians here. Got a lot of money on the Guardians though. So, it's going to be a tough spot here. The line hasn't moved here for me. I think, let me see. Guardians at minus 129, White Sox plus 119. So 1 cent of movement since I looked at this last night. So we'll see. This is going to be a good one. This is the first. Me and Spoon had a lot of, I mean, it's rare that we have like multiple games that were like actually invested on, and we've had that. Now we've got a game that we're opposite on. So it happens. That's baseball. We can move on to this next game, though. We've got the New York Mets here against the Kansas City Royals here. I want to pull this up. We got the Mets currently sitting at a minus 111 on the money line. We've got a total 8.5 juice to the over at minus 120. We've got the Kansas City Royals and Noah Cameron on the mound, one of their better arms in that rotation, only sitting at a plus 101 here on the money line against Holmes, the right-hander from New York. I'm not going to lie, this is one of the spots, too. I kind of want to move on the Royals here against the Mets here. I mean, the Royals, 4 games under 500, Mets, 14 games over 500. Royals are not going to, this team, this is like, they're in like the Reds category. I feel like you can say with me, I just don't believe in these lineups when it comes down to it, when it comes down to later in the season, actually be able to score runs and to get into the postseason. Those two teams are right there for me that I don't think will be there. But I do want to back the Royals here in the spot. I want to back Noah Cameron here. We've got a total here at 8.5 to the juice to the over at minus 120 though. So definitely interesting there. This wasn't a game I moved on, but seeing the Royals only at a plus 100, we had this line open up. I mean, wow. Spoons, I mean, is this significant line movement right now from what I'm seeing? I just looked it up. What, minus 140 potentially last night were the New York Mets?
Yep, this is definitely some significant line movement. And it's not just that. It's 52% of the tickets are on the Kansas City Royals, and 60% of the cash is on the New York Mets. So that line's going against the cash. That tells me there's some accounts that are profiled really highly with these books that they respect a lot that moved on the Kansas City Royals. Another theory I have is that Clay Holmes is only pitching part of this game. Sean Manaea was recently recalled back up. He's coming off injury. He's worked up to 75 pitches or so in his last outing. So this is going to be probably a 4-inning split for both guys, maybe 4 out of Holmes, 3 out of Manaea. And I wonder if that just Manaea number wasn't fully baked into the opening line. Everybody wasn't fully aware that that was going to be the situation, but it's just conjecture. I don't know that to be true. I got a terrible line on this. I moved on the minus 135 last night before I went to bed. I was looking at Clay Holmes and Manaea, and I thought they could pitch really well versus this Royals lineup. This is a team, I know a lot of guys just blindly fade the Kansas City Royal team total under every single game. You can get a 4.5 like all the time. And these bats don't demand a 4.5. If you look at it, I mean, you have Bobby Witt, who's been hitting pretty well all year. Salvi's not having one of his best years. The young rookie Jack Caglione hit a couple home runs in this past week, but not having the season they were really hoping for him coming up. And they traded for India in this offseason. Like, I get the projections looking at this lineup, how you could project them for runs, but the way they've actually played their current form, I don't see how they get there. Official lineups are out. You have Lindor, Vientos, Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, Marciano, Tyrone Taylor, Torrens, and Acuna for the Mets. So you're not missing any huge bats or anything over there. I am very concerned with the way this market moved. Looking at the bullpen, Edwin Diaz did go for the Mets yesterday, but it's the last day before the All-Star break. They're going to toss him out there again. Reed Garrett's gone on back-to-back days, but it's less than 30 pitches combined between those two games, so I would expect him to be available too. Ryan Stanek had the last 2 days off, so he'll be available. Brazoban had yesterday off, so he'll be available. So if Clay Holmes or Manaea finds themselves in a little bit of trouble, I expect the Mets to come in and put this entire bullpen out there. This isn't just any game for the Mets. They're in a pennant race right now, and this is a really important game to get, especially against the Royals here. Noah Cameron's a good pitcher. This could be really connected to them just knowing he's going to go out there and pitch well, but this guy has had some struggles with good lineups already this year. The Dodgers and the Yankees both tagged him for 5 and 6 runs. I think these Mets bats are at that same level. Yeah, he pitched well against Pittsburgh out last time, 7 innings pitched, just 2 earned runs on 3 hits. He didn't make it out of the 5th versus Seattle. He didn't give up an earned run, but that was because they were worried about him. They got him out of there quick. And I don't think he pitches that well against the Mets. Once we get to this Kansas City Royals bullpen, I have a lot of faith in the Mets' ability to touch him. I don't agree with this line movement, but it's never a good idea to disrespect that line movement. You have Estevez, who had gone 3 of 4 days going into yesterday. He had a blown save 2 days ago. Then yesterday they had to use every important arm: Ursig, Schreiber, Zerpa. I don't like this Kansas City Royal bullpen. I'm already on the Mets. I'm not going to buy out of it. I'm not sure if I would fully recommend anybody hops in it at this point. There's definitely some market things that keep me off this game if I were going to change my bet now, but I'm on the Mets. I don't dislike it. I think this is a spot where they really need this win, and all the pieces are there to make it happen. So I don't necessarily understand what happened overnight to right now, but I think it's got to be something to do with the pitching.
Yeah.
Shout out TJ.
Yeah, shout out to my guy TJ in the chat. He said I'm on Mets at a bad number. Minaya is going to come in early. Yeah, it's going to keep me off this game, Spoons. Not only that, I mean, I didn't get the value in the Royals that I could have gotten if I was going to bet them. I definitely was looking at them last night around a plus 110, plus 115, I think. Seeing them at a plus 100 now, I'm not going to move on them. It's too late for me. Definitely, there had to been some money come in to make the line move that much. So, but at the same time, you're already invested in this game. I love the breakdown that you just said. That breakdown alone kept me off the Royals, not just because, too, I'm not going to chase steam in this situation when I could have gotten a lot better number on the Royals. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to end up staying off this game, Spoons. But Mets are official for you. You did tweet this out?
Yep. Minus 135, I believe, is the number I have.
All right, everyone. And shout out to everyone in the chat. Guys, make sure to hit the like button. We're right there, almost at 100. We've had the most people in here today so far. We now have just over we have about 210 people on YouTube watching. 3 likes away from 100. Like I said, guys, we get 200 likes. I'm doing a $50 giveaway. And so, yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat. We appreciate your guys' support. And we can move on to this next game here. Pittsburgh Pirates, Minnesota Twins. Apologize. It signed me out. I got to sign back into this really quick, Spoons.
You're all good. I can take it away here for a second.
Yeah, started
We got Mitch Keller and Simeon Woods Richardson on the mound in this game. We have looking to see if we have official lineups at this point. Still projected on the Pirates side, but the official lineup is out for the Twins. Byron Buxton, Willie Castro, Trevor Larnach, Carlos Correa, Matt Wallner, Royce Lewis, Cody Clemens, Harrison Bader, and Christian Vasquez. All the big bats you really want to see are in there for the Twins. This is a spot where a lot of this comes down to pitching for me. This is Simeon Woods Richardson got sent down to the minors earlier this season. He came back up, had one bad game, and since then he's pitched amazing, really well. It's hard to get on the other side of him right now, in my opinion. But on the opposite side of the mound, you got probably one of the unluckiest pitchers in all of baseball. Mitch Keller, you look at his stats on the full season, 3.58 ERA, a 1.117 whip, and he's got a record that's 3-10. And that's why we don't use pitcher records to really grade these guys, because, I mean, you put that out there on most other teams, that's going to be a 10-3 kind of record.
Yeah.
And especially with his late form, his last 4 starts, 1.82 ERA, a whip under 9 or 0.9. This is a Pirates team that just does not give any run support to these good pitchers like Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller. And I don't think they give him run support here again. This is a Pittsburgh team that has nothing to do with a pennant race. Minnesota's not in their pennant race either. They're pretty well back behind Detroit, but they're not that far out of the wild card. And the way the wild card works anymore, you get 3 teams in. This is a Twins lineup that definitely could be there. The bullpen has underperformed to this point in the season, but they have so many good arms back there. I think the numbers don't necessarily represent their talent, and I don't expect the Pirates bats to be able to get to them. Pittsburgh bullpen over the last 30 days is second in baseball in ERA, so there's definitely some good arms coming out from back there as well. But I think these Twins bats can get to Keller, get a few off of him. Keller's got a 1.45 whip versus lefties and a 4.46 xFIP versus lefties, so he's definitely just more dominant versus that right-hand side of the mound. You're going to have Willie Castro hitting from the left, Trevor Larnach hitting from the left, Matt Wallner, Cody Clemens. So I think there's ways to get to this guy. It's not one I actually got to the ticket window with. I had a big, strong lean to the Minnesota Twins. The market in this game, touch it real quick. Maybe I lied. Can't I find it?
No, you're good. Shout out to Big Show Picks in the chat. Just gifted a Pub Sports Radio membership, guys. Guys, you receive a Pub Sports membership. Make sure to return it in favor. Shout out to my guy Big Show. He didn't have to do that. Means a lot to us. So for that, I'm gonna take a shot from my guy right there, Big Show. And then we got another one. See, once it starts, that's how it keeps going, guys. So keep gifting these Pub Sports Radio memberships. It helps out the channel a ton. Does a lot for Pub Sports, and just continue to hit the like button and share the video as always, guys. We appreciate your support. Take a little shotty out of the bottle for you guys because I'm not going to pour it out. Oh. I'm a sailor. Spoon, what do you got? What are you sipping on over there?
I just poured a Mick Ultra into this. I had iced tea to start, but seeing you drinking, it went past me, and I was like, might as well. I'm not getting into the liquor. I got plenty of stuff to do today.
Yeah, there you go. It's 9:15 a.m. over here, Spoons. And I got some stuff I got to take care of today too. So shout out to you though. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Appreciate all the love. Shout out to Old E for gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. Means a ton to us. Shout out to fella in the chat. He said, cheers, thanks, Big Show. Never seen that name in the chat, but he got gifted a Pub Sports Radio membership. So we saw him chat. Hit the comments. Appreciate that as always. And we can move on. Oh, I got to touch on this game still. So Pittsburgh Pirates, Minnesota Twins. About a week ago, I said maybe Don Kelly had earned this job for next year. Currently sitting 20 games under 500. I don't really know if that's going to be the case here. Guys, this rotation for the Pirates is pretty damn good. You look at their 3 guys deep in that rotation, and Spoons touch on it. They can't give run support ever. I mean, when you look at this roster, it's not good. This batting order is not good by any means that the Pirates have over there. They got guys like Reynolds, they got guys like Cruz, but he's still got old man Kutch over there. And don't get me wrong, he's been hitting the ball a lot. He's been seeing the ball pretty well this year. Like he definitely still can play in the big leagues, but at some point they got to move on. They got to sign some good free agents because they're not really developing a lot of these young guys. Guys like Brian Reynolds and O'Neal Cruz, these guys are slowly falling off, it seems like. And for O'Neal Cruz, we're going to talk about him in the home run derby. I got something to say about him in the home run derby later on. By the way, we will be breaking down the home run derby at the end of the show. We're going to give a couple takes on it, touch on it a little bit. But O'Neal Cruz, I mean, it looks like he doesn't want to play in Pittsburgh. This team is it seems like their offense is dead, and it seems like their season is pretty much coming to an end, even though they made a nice little run a couple weeks ago. Now they just can't get any wins. So it's going to end up being a pass for me, Spoons, because, I mean, the Pirates have been get like plus 130 on them, plus 140 on them. I mean, you're getting Mitch Keller on the mound, and I've talked about this guy. This guy's a good pitcher. I mean, if this guy was anywhere else, I would love for him to be in Anaheim. If he was on a winning ball team, his record would be a lot different than 3-10. I could tell you that. I don't know about 10-3, but maybe like a 6-4 or something like that. You know what I mean? A couple no decisions that he probably should have gotten, but the offense just couldn't back him up in those situations. So it's going to be a pass for me because you guys know me, the Twins too, both these lineups. I don't like these lineups, but when I look at both these lineups compared to each other, Twins have the better lineup. Shout out to my guy Redbeard in the chat, man. Gifting another Pub Sports Radio membership, man. I'm just taking smallies, guys. So, Spoons, anything you have to say in this one other than before we get on the next?
Real quick, I got it reloaded and the market numbers pulled up. This line opened it at 8.5, juice to the over, and it's now 9s across the board, and that's with 74% of the tickets and 76% of the cash coming in on the under. So I believe the books thinks one of these guys gets touched. You got 63% of the cash and 63% of the tickets on Minnesota. Nothing alarming with those splits, but the reason I'm not on Minnesota here, Simeon Woods Richardson, his last 3 games out, he's gone 15 innings and only given up 1 earned run, 6 hits combined between those 3. And that's versus some really good lineups like the Chicago Cubs and the Seattle Mariners. I think he's probably due for some regression. And if we look at his numbers, he's got a 1.62 whip versus lefties and a 5.35 xFIP versus lefties. Even though I don't have a ton of faith in these Pittsburgh bats, some of the bats I do have faith in are hitting from the left side, and that's O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds, and Adam Frazier. You also get just Tommy Pham. He's not a guy I've always been in love with, a little bit of a journeyman himself, but he's a professional hitter. You get Spencer Horwitz leading off this, hitting from the left-hand side, and I can start to see a path for some runs off Woods Richardson, but I'm not going to have a take in this game where I actually get to the window.
Yeah, it's going to be a pass for me, Spoons. I don't want to move on this game. I don't like either of these two teams. Wager Detective said Wine Time getting his Jack Sparrow. Oh man, that's funny.
Wait, did you see Kyle's comment?
I think
Scroll up a little bit.
Let me see. I need to finish my coffee. Oh, hold up. Is that hard? Look. Yeah, Kyle, I know you're in. I think Kyle in New York?
Kyle's in the East Coast. I believe New York, New
Kyle,
Jersey don't want to
finish your coffee. It's almost 1:00 over there, my guy. No, shout out to my guy Kyle. Yeah, I'm on 2 cups of coffee as well. I gotta show love to the people gifting these Pub Sports Radio memberships. You guys don't want me taking shots. Let me know in the chat because I don't have to.
Extra too.
Yeah, right. But yeah, good time, man. I always love breaking these games down with my guy Spoons in the chat, man. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys' support as always. Sports scientist Jacob, the hard liquor before the coffee. Oh yeah. We'll move on to this next game though, guys. We only have 3 games. Oh my gosh. Wow. Shout out to my guy Kyle Kerms gifting 50 Pub Sports Radio memberships. That's not going to be 50 shots, Kyle, but man, I appreciate that support as always, man. Showing that kind of love in our chat goes a long way, man. Helps out the channel a ton, helps out everything over at Pub Sports Radio. So not only do the likes, the views, and all that stuff help, but the gifting memberships helps a ton. So appreciate you. There's my guy, Sports Scientist Jacob said, whole bottle down. I can't do that, my guy, but I will take a shot for my guy, Kyle Kerms, because he's the fucking man. Appreciate it. Love all the work he's doing over there on the Kyle Kerms channel as well. Just giving you guys great content. If you guys don't subscribe to him, go subscribe to his channel. They mostly break down the games the night before, 9 p.m. over here on the West Coast, 12 over there. There he goes. We'll do that right now. Midnight over there on the East Coast. And they just give you first-class content, man. They give you all the content you want to know, all the information. He always brings on a couple different cappers. Spoons is always in there. You'll see my guy Dabby Cab in there as well. And I plan to get on there one of these days as well. So shout out to him, my guy. I'm going to do a shot with my guy Spoons. He's got the goose. I've got the sailor. Sailor Goose, let's go, boy. Let's go. Ugh. Shout out to you, Kyle, man. That seriously means a ton. So I appreciate that. Let's see. Big Show said, Kyle, DM me. I don't have that blue check mark to DM you. Hello. Didn't mean to induce the Kyle. I was trying to support the show. Didn't mean to induce problem drinking in the morning. Hey, there ain't no problem with that, Kyle. So I appreciate you, my guy. Like I said, appreciate you. It means a ton. Let's move on to this next game here. We've got that got me pumped right there. Seeing 50 gifted Pub Sports Radio memberships while we're live, while we've got, we've got over 200 people in the building, guys. It means a ton. And like what Colin said, anybody who received a membership, pay it forward and buy someone a membership whenever you can. We appreciate it, guys. Appreciate all the support. With that being said, we will move on to this next game. Battle of Texas right here. Texas Rangers against the Houston Astros. This is let me pull this up. All right, I have it right here. Okay, we got the Texas Rangers. We got Nathan Eovaldi on the mound here. They're currently sitting at a plus 120 on the money line. We've got Hunter Brown currently sitting at a minus 130 on the money line for the Houston Astros. 2 of the better arms we're going to see in all of baseball, if we're being honest here. These 2 guys are dealing this year. Hunter Brown, I mean, this guy's a gamer. This guy is a winner. This guy is going to be pitching at a high level for years to come. The Astros got a good one in this guy. Just seeing his numbers right now are out of this world here. Going into this game here, this is definitely battle of the AL West here. AL West is wide open. The Houston Astros are trying to run away with it, but the Rangers, Mariners, Angels, all still right there. We still have a lot of time left and a lot of divisional games to go. So this is a big game for both teams here. Let me pull this up. Yeah, I remember watching Hunter Brown, man. This guy against the Angels. I don't know if anyone watched that breakdown against Zach Neto when he hit him, and Hunter Brown was ready to swing right after that. The guy was fired up. The guy's a really good pitcher. I like everything he's doing over there. Looking at this game, though, Spoons, I didn't move on this game pre-game. Looking at it right now, we are currently – what did this line open at? Rangers probably around a plus 110, plus 115, and they're currently sitting at a plus 119. So some slight movement maybe towards the Astros and Hunter Brown, which I do think is the side here. But at the same time, Spoons, I mean, we're seeing two of the better pitchers in all of not just in the AL West, two of the better pitchers in all of Major League Baseball go head to head here. The Astros are only a minus 130, but yet they're clearly 17 games over 500 here. The Rangers are under 500. Is this a suspicious line by any means, Spoons? This wasn't a game I moved on, but I kind of want to move on the Texas Rangers here the more I talk about it, because this does seem like a little bit fishy of a line. What do you have to say about this, Spoons?
So I don't know if it's a fishy line. We have Hunter Brown on the mound. Obviously, his last start out. Real quick, thank you, DJ.
Everyone, Scum Blaster, 5 Pub Sports Radio memberships, Redbeard, we got TJ, everyone gifting stuff, man. This helps the channel and helps the show a lot. Appreciate you guys. Sorry, Spoons, take it away.
Yeah, and again, just a huge shout out to Kyle getting the ball rolling. Big Show actually getting the ball rolling with the first one. Old D coming in with one as well. Just across the board, thank you so much. It's huge for the channel, and Kyle, love the support you're showing over here. It's awesome. Guy leads by example. I put him in the same class that I do with Jimmy. Just two guys doing things the right way in this industry. You see so many different outlets to go about things, and they're giving out free picks with amazing knowledge every single day. Just have a ton of respect for it. Love it. Appreciate it. You too, TJ, constantly dropping the good knowledge and making everybody sharper. You got Hunter Brown, though. This guy, before his last game, was firmly in the consideration for a Cy Young. Yep. And 6 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, 6 hits, and 3 walks versus Cleveland. That was at home, and that's not a start that Hunter Brown is going to consistently have. I think that's why it's lined like this. The books know he's going to come out there and do everything he can to bounce back. This guy's an elite pitcher, and every pitcher has a bad day. It's not about never having bad days. It's about coming back the next time out and pitching well again. And on those bad days, finding a way to get outs. And that's what he did. He still went 6 innings pitched, even though the 6 earned runs came on the board. And that's what's going to keep me off. But Nate Eovaldi on the other side, this guy is pitching very well. He came back from injury, came straight to the major leagues, didn't rehab in any sort of way. And you see it in just the innings totals, just 2 and 3 there. The last 2 games out, hasn't given up an earned run, just 1 walk between the 2 games, and that's over 11 innings to LA and Baltimore. Houston bats, they're not all there right now. If we look at this team, they're missing 2 of the biggest bats that they have there, Pena and Alvarez. And the top of this lineup looks so much different with Isaac Paredes, Cam Smith, Jose Altuve, Christian Walker. We got Victor Caratini hitting in the 5 hole. This is a guy I like a lot. He used to catch for the Cubs, and he's got a decent bat at times, but he's not been swinging it that well. Him hitting in the 5 hole is a red flag to me. Mauricio Dubon hitting 7, Cooper Hummel, Zach Short, another guy that used to be in the minors for the Cubs. He did great work on the Compound podcast, but he's never been doing great work in the major league. So I have a lot of questions on how much Houston can score. Texas bats are very alive right now. Josh Smith, Corey Seager, Simeon, Garcia, Wyatt Langford's now healthy. Evan Carter's back. Higoshi, Duran at the bottom, Jake Berger. There's a lot of ways to get runs, and this seems like a really easy price to hit with the Rangers. And I would like to do that, but I know if I do that, Hunter Brown's going to come out and absolutely shove down my throat. And I'm not willing to bet against one of my favorite pitchers, especially after a bad game. It's just a clear bounce back spot for him. I don't think there's enough value with that offense behind him, and the way that the bullpen was used in the last couple of games. Last night, Houston had to go into extras. Josh Hader blew the save. Houston, they got really lucky to win that game. They came out, they gave up a run. I think it was the 11th inning. They were down a run going into the bottom, and the pitcher walked the bases loaded for the Rangers. And that's going to be a concern for the Rangers too. But Hader going 27 yesterday, I know it's the last day before the All-Star break, but
screw Hader.
Times out there, it's a blown save and a loss. It's not the Hader that we all really remember. I don't know that they go out there. Like, I'm sure they'd like to get his confidence up before the break, but they'd also not like to put it any lower. And I just don't know. I know Abreu's going to be available to go. Brian King's going to be available to go. The arms, their actual talent level, I like them more on the Houston side. And let's see how many Texas had to use last night real quick. Why can't I find it? So Robert Garcia is on back-to-back days. Chris Martin is on back-to-back days and 3 of 4. Hobie Milner is on back-to-back days. The last day before the All-Star break, a big game like this, I expect them to put either Chris Martin or Garcia out there. I believe Chris Martin dealt with some injuries earlier this season, so it's more likely Robert Garcia. But there's too much variance with the bullpens. 2 pitchers I really trust, and only one lineup I trust. I could only get there with Texas, but I really struggled with this game. I wanted to bet Texas. I'm not going to do it. We have 59% of the tickets on the Houston Astros, but 67% of the cash on Texas. Some clear signs of sharp money there, especially when you factor in you have to pay minus 135 to bet Houston. So those guys that are going out there and dropping a rack on this game are putting 1350 on that to get the money line. And that doesn't add up. You have some clear sharp money coming in on Texas. This line opened at a 7, juice to the over. Most of the books now have it juiced to the under, but it's still a real 7 out there. And minus 135s have been available the entire time. Some of the public books have this more juice to Houston now. I think I see minus 143 on DraftKings, but you can still get minus 127s if you want to look around on some of the offshores like Superbook and stuff. So there's not enough in this game to push me either way. I want to bet Texas. I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I want to bet Texas, but I just, like you said, Hunter Brown got lit up in his last start. So I don't know if I can fade him and expect him not to just go out there and dominate. Texas batting order that has been inconsistent this year. They definitely came back to life. They definitely have the hitters in that lineup to win and to score runs. Just, it doesn't correlate enough for me. I definitely had to lean towards the Rangers with you as well. So we can move off of this game. It's going to end up being a pass for me.
Did you see the Kyle Kerms and TJ going back and forth on this game? I think they're on the same side. I think Kyle tailed TJ on this last night in the voice chat. And I got a guy waiting down the block at Chad Pickard. If this goes over 5, TJ is going to need some new tires, slashing them.
TJ said he's getting new tires tomorrow, though. TJ ain't stressing on the tires, man. Shout out to the boys, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man. I
see B Germ with some concerns about a pitching change for the Mets. This has been in the works. Manaea is coming back. It's going to be both pitchers going out there and pitching today. It's going to be a combination. I don't think one is going to have significantly more innings pitched than the others, and then they're going to hopefully hand it off to the bullpen to get the win. They brought Manaea up not only because they want to get his arm fresh for the second half and kind of in a rhythm, but because they really want this win. So I just want to touch on that real quick. We can carry on.
Yeah, we can move on to this next. We've only got 2 ball games left, guys. We're going to talk about the Nationals and Brewers, and we already discussed the middle of the card in the beginning of the show. We were kind of a little bit out of order today, so apologies for that, guys. Make sure to hit the like button, guys. We're like 55 likes away from 200 now, from that $50 giveaway that we want to give away to one lucky subscriber out there, guys. So we need 200 likes before we get out of here. Mean the world to us. Appreciate you guys for sticking around during the show. We've been going on for about 95 minutes now. We've got 2 games left. We're going to do some recap, and then we're going to also break down the home run derby as well. So make sure to stick around, guys. At the end of the show, we are going to be breaking down the home run derby for tomorrow. Some early takes that we have and some early plays. I've got one play I want to share, and I'm sure I'll share more tomorrow once I get the matchups available. But going into this one, we got Jake Irvin on the mound, having a good season for the Washington Nationals. I mean, 7-4 right now against Freddie Peralta. I mean, one of the better pitchers in the ANL. This guy's been doing it for a couple of years now, and he's made a lot of people a lot of money, including this Brewers team. Milwaukee Brewers, Spoons, I mean, what can we say about this group, man? They're winners. They know how to win ball games. It seems like every single season. Them and the Rays are like in the same category for me. I feel like it's just every single season people look down on them going into this year, including myself, just looking at the overall roster and what they've done in the offseason to make moves. It just nothing really correlated enough for me to be like, wow, these 2 teams really stand out. But yet the Milwaukee Brewers here sitting 15 games over 500. Nationals, I mean, Spoons, I think we know why they fired Dave Martinez and the GM. They just wanted to call it quits. They wanted to stop winning games this season. That's what it seems like, at least. I mean, this team, almost 20 games under 500. Seems like it looked like this team was going to somewhat make a run about a month and a half ago. I know it was early on, but the young hitters they have in this lineup are just so promising. It seems like Dave Martinez wanted to simply try to grind out and win some ball games, and the Nationals don't want to do that. Seems I'm not going to be on the Nationals at any point the rest of the season like I was in the beginning of the season. We had a lot of value on them early on. Shout out to the young talent that they have. They got guys like Mackenzie Gore, James Wood, CJ Abrams. They're building around, but from I guess from the upper management standpoint, this team is still a couple years away from actually competing. They still want to build around there. I could only take the Milwaukee Brewers in a money line parlay if I was going to do it. Shout out to my guy Lil Domo in the chat. Appreciate you for showing out my guy. I could only move on the Brewers here in this spot. I'm not going to back the Nationals. I mean, you got Jake Irvin, who's been pitching good this season against Freddie Peralta, and they're almost a plus 200. The Brewers are minus 260 right now. Nationals are a plus 1-2. I apologize. The Nationals are a plus 225 on the money line. I think the Brewers take care of business. Am I going to lay a 1.5 at minus 135? No. Am I going to lay a -1 at minus 160? No. So I'm going to end up staying off of this unless I can find a parlay piece with this, Spoons. I'm going to have you take this one away. I'm going to be right back. Take it away, Spoons.
Yeah, we have 83% of the tickets on the Milwaukee Brewers, 94% of the cash on the Brewers. On the total in this one, we have 67% of the tickets on the under and 76% of the cash on the under. This total opened up at an 8.5 juice to the over, and it has come down. On some of the sharper books, they're putting flat 8s out there. It's juice to the over, but when Circa moves the number half, they generally do that for a reason. So some interesting movement there on the under. There's a huge bat missing for Washington, and quite a few bats actually. James Wood is out of the lineup. If we look up and down this Washington lineup, it doesn't look like they're coming out here trying to build a win here today. CJ Abrams leading off, Alex Call, Josh Bell, Nathan Lowe, Luis Garcia, Brady House, Daniel Lyle, Riley Adams, Jacob Young, a bunch of people you've never heard of towards the bottom of this lineup. Jake Irvin is not a guy I'm looking to try to back this season. He looks out of shape out there on the mound. It looks like he's put on weight. That's really worked well for some pitchers in the past. I remember CC Sabathia just talking about how he felt like he had more confidence pitching while he was heavier, but I don't think that works for most pitchers. I think being in good athletic shape is something I would like out of any athlete, and I don't see it with him. I see him on a franchise, as you mentioned. They've already gotten rid of their GM manager. They're making changes, and the changes are not for the second half of the season. They're going in for next season. They're trying to figure out what they have with some of these younger guys, some of the management material that might already be in the clubhouse. I can't find a way to get to Washington with this giant number. I think the books are telling you it opened very juiced, and it's continuing to move that direction. Wood is in the home run derby. He's probably working on his swing. There's no need to put him out there. The Nationals want to get some good press out of him. They don't want him to be tired for that derby. So I think that's probably the reason. They got to get tickets somehow. And if Wood did well in the derby, that'd be really good for their franchise. But it's only Milwaukee. Put it in a parlay or something. I almost guarantee they're going to win, but there's no way for me to bet it.
Yeah, Troy said Brewers win this game 15-1. I could absolutely see it. I mean, I guess if you're going to bet this game, lay a -2.5, get that plus money if you think that they're going to take care of business, which I think they can. You said the books are telling us the Nationals being this much of dogs. I think we're going to see them at a lot of these prices going forward, Spoons. I think they're just going to start folding. I don't think this team wants to win anymore. I think they've already thrown in the towel. And so with that being said, it's going to be a pass for me. I could only move on a Brewers money line in a parlay or something, but I'm not going to lay a 2.5, and I'm certainly not going to lay a 1.5 being that juice with the Brewers team. But I do think that they are the play today. And if you got in on the Brewers, I like where you're at on that spot. It's not enough for me to actually move on the Brewers here. So we can move on. We've got our last game on the board, guys. Like I said, we did the middle of the games first. We went a little bit out of order. T, my guy, can you pull up the Philadelphia Phillies against the San Diego Padres? I believe this is the last game, right, Spoons?
Yep.
Yeah. Another good pitching matchup here, man. We've got Nick Pivetta against Christopher Sanchez here. Two pitchers that have been pitching well all season long. Nick Pivetta, I mean, this guy, I didn't think he was going to pitch this well going into this year. I know he was good, but I didn't think he was going to be this good. I like what both these guys are doing right here. I talked about it on Friday with Jose that when I looked at both of these teams going into this season, I like both of these batting orders. I think both these batting orders are two of the deepest batting orders that we'll ever see in baseball. I mean, look at the Philadelphia Phillies, look at the San Diego Padres, look at the guys they have in this order. It's absolutely crazy to see their numbers. But yet the Padres just haven't been able to put together a great season like they really should. Been really inconsistent at times. They started off the season really hot. Philadelphia Phillies, they're good every single year, man. And, they were out. They didn't have Harper for, it seemed like 3 weeks at one point, maybe even a month, whatever it was. It seemed like a lot longer than what actually was. They've got him back in the order. They've got the guys they have to win now. It's now or never for the Phillies, guys. I mean, this team is getting old. They're aging before our eyes. And same with the San Diego Padres. Like, if these guys don't win the next couple of years, these are all going to be debacles. These are all going to be horrible. Like, if these teams don't win a World Series, like the Padres don't win a World Series with this roster they have. I don't even know what to say, because they've got such a deep lineup. They spent so much money into this team, and they can't ever get to the World Series. It seems like these are two teams that I do believe will make a postseason run, though. They have the teams to do it. It's just too much for me. It's pretty much like flip a coin in this spot, I feel like, with both these teams and both these pitchers on the mound, and you'll get a better result, because I don't have a play on this game. I didn't want to move on this spot. It's going to be a pass for me. Spoons, do you have anything in this game?
I kind of went back and forth with this game for a minute. Real quick, I see Kyle Macedo in the comments having questions about who's going to sit with the Yankees and Cubs. These are two teams in pennant races. So the Cubs have a 1-game lead on the Brewers. The Brewers are getting an easy win here today. And the Cubs have the Brewers' old manager. This is personal for both of these clubs. Yeah. This is a spot where the Cubs are going to dump everything to try to get that win. The Brewers are in a much better situation, but even if they find themselves down, that's going to be a good live bet, because that team needs this win, wants this win, and they're going to find a way to get it. I would have no concern with the Yankees. Both the lineups are out. Every single big bat is in for both sides. Back to the Padres and Phillies, though. Christopher Sanchez, one of my favorite guys. I love ground ball pitchers, especially lefties out there. This is a guy that I expect to pitch pretty well versus the Padres. The big bats that I'm generally concerned about, besides Machado, all hit from the left-hand side. I guess Tatis also a righty, but this is a spot where I expect Sanchez to pitch pretty well. This is a pitcher's park here. He just left one of the most pitcher-friendly parks in Oracle. Now he gets to go to Petco. It's a guy that generally has to pitch in one of the least friendly parks over there in Philadelphia. So it's good for him to get on the road in these kind of situations, generally, in my opinion. But you got Nick Pivetta on the other side. And this guy is also pitching extremely well right now. We look at his last 3 starts. He's gone into the 6th inning in every single one of them. He's only given up 1 earned run in those 3 games. And I don't know that Philly tags him here. If we look at these Phillies bats, they're leaving a lot to be desired. Only got 2 runs off Ryan Berger, 2 runs off Justin Verlander, 1 run off Landon Root, 1 run off Chase Burns. The last time they set up Pivetta, they only got 1 run. It's been it's multiple weeks since they've gotten 4 earned runs off of anybody, and that was Dylan Cease. And I just don't know that they get to Christopher Sanchez here. Kind of a lean to the under, kind of a lean to the Phillies. The way the Phillies bats are swinging, though, it just doesn't give me that confidence. Touch on the market real quick before we finish this game. We have 52% of the tickets on the Philadelphia Phillies, 62% of the cash on the Phillies, 74% of the tickets on the under, and 90% of the cash on the under. Total opened at a 7.5, juice to the over, and now we see 7s basically across the board. It's juice to the over, so you could still pay for that 7.5 if you'd like it. But they're definitely starting to respect some of that under money that's come in. Phillies opened minus 130 though, minus 130, and it's down minus 125 or so at some of the sharper books. So not a ton of faith there in the Phillies. I think both of these teams would really like to get this win here. I can't get to the ticket window with this.
Shout out to my guy, Troy Torrance. He asked if that was a Harry Potter album behind me. Troy, my guy, that's Buddy Holly. Come on. He's one of the best ever. So shout out to my guy, Troy. I wonder if he actually knows who that is, but
put a lightning bolt on it. It does look like Harry Potter.
I know, right? When he said that, I was cracking up, but shout out to him. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man, showing the love. And we got over 150 likes right now, guys. We're close to that 200 mark. We want to break that 2,000K views mark at some point, guys. So share this video. after the show. If anyone wants to watch the plays, the playback, appreciate it as always, because we've got games on all day today, so I'm looking forward to it. Nasty Nate, Troy has a Hogwarts tattoo. I don't know. I know Troy's got tattoos. I don't think he's got a Hogwarts tattoo though. But
what do you think? Which house is Troy? Is he Slytherin? I feel like it's probably Slytherin.
He's Ravenclaw from what I've heard. But no, I'm just kidding. No, shout out to Troy though, my guy right there. And shout out to Harry Potter. That's my wife's favorite series. I can't tell you how many times I've watched Harry Potter, guys. It's been a lot. So. Yeah, hey, I enjoy it though. I do like Harry Potter, but shout out to him. But Spoons, we broke down the entire card, and as promised, guys, we are going to break down the home run derby just a little bit here. We want to give some looks on today. I was hoping my guy Jose was going to be on here because Jose 1-for-1 his last home run derby winner, so we want that on there for sure. I want to pull this up right now, Spoons. But if you want to take this away, home run derby. Anything to look out for, any players that you're looking at to move on, longest home run hit, anything like that? You're muted.
I won't be looking at the longest home run hit. I will be looking at a few of the different markets. I feel like there's always a ton of value represented in the underdogs in these derbies. You get the top favorites, and it's kind of like golf and tennis. Like the favorites generally win in those sports, but there's so much more value at the bottom, and you can pay the same price by stacking 3 or 4 of these underdogs that you would have to pay one of the guys to actually win. Looking at this, a few guys really stick out to me as home run derby winners. I don't know if I'd rather do that or just go to the round one. James Wood has the day off today. He's sitting there taking home run derby practice. You can get him at really good price. I'm trying to get one of my books pulled up to have some odds for this. The Derby winner, James Wood, is sitting plus 475. Another guy, Robert Acuna at home. This is his home park. Nobody knows how to hit the ball over the fence better here in this Derby. Cal Raleigh, this is a guy I won't have a single ticket on. I won't even think about betting. I think he's going to be the favorite. I love him. He's been one of my favorite catchers in baseball for years now. T-Mobile has really short fences. It's a hard park to score in, but if you can just kind of aim at those fences, you can get a lot of easy home runs. And that's like you can look at his stats on the season, some of the advanced metrics. You can see which parks he'd have more home runs in, and even small parks like Yankee Stadium, he'd have less home runs than he does right now. And it's because he knows how to aim for those short fences. I don't think that helps him as much here.
Oh, Ronald Acuna is out, I think, now. Spoons?
That's what I was trying to pull up. Why is that?
I can't find any odds. I think he got replaced. Shout out to my guy, MMA Mills, in the chat. Love everything he does, MMA, over there with Pub Sports Radio. And he also said Ohtani Neto anytime home run today, and Neto over 1.5. I think hits, runs, and RBI. Shout out to my guy Mills right there. Appreciate your support. And he touched on it. Yeah, Matt Olson is now taking the spot of Ronald Acuna.
Plus 800 for Olson to win it at home. Okay, that's going to be one of the ones that makes it. I think Wood and Olson are going to wind up on my card. I don't want anything to do with Jazz. Caminario, I don't want anything to do with him. Brent Rooker is probably the third person I'll add. So 2 plus 800, 850 numbers with Rooker and Olson, and then James Wood, I think are going to be my 3 that I play to win this Derby. Those are so much better return than looking at Cal Raleigh plus 295 or O'Neal Cruz plus 320. And while I can see those guys hitting some home runs, I really think this is one of those spots where Olson does it in front of the home crowd. This is a spot he probably really wanted to get into, was excited to take Acuna's spot. Rooker also on the A's. This guy absolutely demolishes baseball. If you give him batting practice kind of pitches, I can see him walking away with this. I'm not going to touch any market besides the Derby winner, but I'm going to be on those 3, James Wood, Matt Olson, and Brent Rooker.
I like it, Spoons. I was close to moving on James Wood. I'm going to move on him in a little bit different of a way. I'm going to give you guys my pick for home run derby. It's not the most juiciest. It's not the most fun, but I think it's the guy that's going to win. I think he's going to hit the longest ball. I think he's the best athlete out there. You guys can guess it. It's O'Neal Cruz plus 300 to win home run derby. the way this guy smashes baseballs, man, especially where they're going to be throwing it right where he wants it. I have never seen a player hit a ball harder than this guy. It seems like, we talk about the lackluster he has hustle wise right now playing for this Pirates team. It seems like he doesn't really want to be there. He didn't make the All-Star game by any means, but he wanted to show up to this Derby, and he wants to show up there and say, I belong with all you guys. I'm going to win this Derby. There's a reason why I'm only plus 300 in this spot. Cal Rowley's at plus 275 currently sitting. I'm going to move on James Wood a little bit different of a way as well. These are not 1 unit plays, guys. Quarter unit plays. This one's going to be like this right here. What I'm going to give you is like a 15th unit of a play, and that's going to be James Wood versus O'Neal Cruz in the finals plus 1,000. It's the second best odds. The other one's Cal Raleigh and O'Neal Cruz. The books obviously think O'Neal Cruz is going to make his way to the finals without a doubt. It's just if he can win there. So without a doubt, I do think O'Neal Cruz will be in the final. I think James Wood's going to be right there with him. You said James Wood isn't playing today? Yeah, that's perfect. He's getting that swing ready for HRD tomorrow, guys. James Wood and O'Neal Cruz are two players that I really like as baseball players. I like watching them play. Maybe not O'Neal Cruz's attitude at times and his hustle, but these are great athletes. These are amazing athletes, guys, and these guys can hit the ball hard and they can hit it a long ways here in Atlanta. Matt Olson, that might be a little sprinkle. Now that he's the last minute addition plus 700, I think I might have to get on Matt Olson for another little sprinkle. As of right now, it is O'Neal Cruz just because it's a plus 300. It's not like I'm taking a plus 600 here. So, it's really just for fun, and I would love to see James Wood against O'Neal Cruz in the finals. Cal Raleigh, I think you can throw those tickets away in the trash. Yeah, he's the home run leader, but I think he's worried about actually maybe trying to hit 60, 70 home runs this season rather than hit 67 home runs in home run derby. Although he can do it. He can hit the ball a long ways. I just don't think that this is the right circumstance for him. I think guys like James Wood and O'Neal Cruz, two teams that they're on that are out of the playoff race right now. They're not playing for anything. This is their World Series, I guess, is the home run derby. James Wood did make the All-Star team, but this is their World Series in a way this year. So I'm going to move on to O'Neal Cruz and James Wood in the finals plus 1,000. Love that bet. Shout out to my guy, Dabby Cap, in the chat. Appreciate you for showing out as always. We had a great show today, Spoons. I want to go over the numbers really quick here. I'm going to refresh here. We currently have 170 people watching. We had over 200 people earlier. We've got 154 likes, guys. Keep the likes coming. I know a lot of people are going to watch the playback and stuff, and got all that stuff. And I'm sorry we went a little bit out of order today. We started off with the afternoon games. So I know that threw some people off. I know it threw me off when I was breaking the games down. So I apologize if I was kind of going back. I just kind of seemed a little unorganized there. So, but appreciate you guys as always. We got games starting soon. I see Desiree in the chat said, let's go wine time and spoons. Shout out to you, Desi. Appreciate you. Shout out to Abel A. He said Cal Raleigh in the finals. Swish right there. My guy Kyle Kerms, thank you for donating those 50 gifted memberships. It means a ton. Shout out to Skunk Blaster, Old E, Big Show, TJ. If I'm forgetting your name, I apologize, but we got a lot of donations today, which means we did a good job on the show. Appreciate you guys.
Over 60 memberships given out. Really, really appreciate that. Everyone, especially Kyle, TJ also getting in there with just a donation. Appreciate all of it, guys. It means so much to us, especially from people that I have a ton of respect for, like Kyle and TJ and Oldie. So really appreciate it. Big Show, thanks for getting it started, my guy. It's gonna be a weird week without baseball, but I'm excited to watch the home run derby tomorrow. I think it's gonna be a really good one. Have you recapped your card yet? Are you ready to get onto that?
You can go ahead. Do you have yours up right now?
Yep. So I got Cubs plus 110, Mariners minus 110, Guardians minus 135, and Mets minus 135. Last day before the All-Star break, there's quite a few additions I'd like to make, but I don't think it's the right day to do that. Shout out Kyle. Again, talking about Conference USA there, giving out Middle Tennessee to win it plus 1,600. Gonna have to go peek at that. That seems like something I'm interested in. Great work today, Wine Time. As always, love the Derby picks there at the end. Go ahead, share your card. Anything else you want to get out there?
Yeah, Spoons, we've got a nice little card today. I'll give you guys the plays I tweeted out yesterday before the show, and then the ones I added to the show. Gave out the Angels money line at plus 100. We gave out the Cubs money line at plus 120. the White Sox money line at plus 120. We also added Athletics plus 110, guys. A lot of underdogs, all underdogs for me today as it stands right now. And another underdog I'm looking at are the Marlins and the Mariners at minus 105. So those are additions I might end up making as the day goes on. But yeah, man, shout out to everyone in the chat for showing support. We've been doing this show now for a couple months, and the support that we're getting, it means a ton to us. We're going to continue, guys, to give the best content we can. And we want to deliver for you guys. So shout out to everyone in the chat that's been here this entire time. Wager Detective, Kyle Kerms, Floyd, Coin, let's see, Zoe, Big Zoe, my guy, Wags, Dabby Cab, Wager Detective, Jermaine, Old E, My Dude, Swish, Jacob, everyone in there. Appreciate your guys' support. It means a ton to us. Good luck to everyone today, guys. And let's leche those bookmakers. Let's go.